I want to start by asking you a question. How many times have you felt like giving up? How many times have you stood at the edge of your dreams, looking out at the vast distance between where you are and where you want to be, and felt the weight of that gap almost crushing your spirit? Let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Samuel. He dreamed of becoming a teacher, a beacon of hope in his community. But every door he knocked on was slammed shut. Every exam, a setback. His family said, "Why keep trying? Maybe it's time to settle." But Samuel had a secret, a seed of belief planted deep within him. One rainy evening, drenched and weary, Samuel sat under a flickering street lamp, tears mixing with the raindrops on his cheeks. He thought, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not made for this. But then he looked up at the dark sky, saw a single star breaking through the clouds, and whispered to himself, I will be patient. I will be persistent. I will stay positive. That moment changed everything. That night, Samuel chose to believe in the impossible, and because of that choice, years later, he stood in a classroom filled with eager children, changing lives, just like he dreamed. My friends, that story is not just about Samuel. It's about you. It's about me. It's about the power of being patient, persistent, and positive in the face of every storm. The power of patience. Waiting is not wasting in a world that celebrates speed, shortcuts, and instant gratification. Patience has become a lost art. We live in a culture where fast is better, where people want results now, where everything has to be quick. Fast food, fast answers, fast money, fast success. But real growth, real mastery, and real transformation, they don't live in the realm of speed. They live in the quiet, sacred space of time. Patience isn't passive. It's powerful. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. Patience is the silent strength that gives you the courage to wait, to endure, to believe even when nothing seems to be changing. There is a difference between sitting still and standing strong. Some people think patience means doing nothing. No. Patience means doing the right things with trust, with consistency, and with the belief that what you're doing will pay off, even if it doesn't pay off right away. It's about waking up every day and showing up for your goals, your dreams, your purpose. Even when you don't see the results yet, you water the seed, not because the fruit is already there, but because you know in your heart that it will be there in time. Imagine a farmer planting a crop. He doesn't plant the seed and dig it up tomorrow to see if it's grown. He trusts the process. He nurtures the soil. He waters it. He protects it from weeds and storms. And then he waits, because he knows the power is in the process, not the rush. Your life, your goals, your dreams are the same. The most powerful things you can grow: self-discipline, inner strength, purpose, and legacy. They all require time. And not just time, but belief during the time it takes. The mighty oak tree doesn't shoot up overnight. It takes years. Years of unseen growth, of deepening roots, of resisting the winds and storms, before it ever becomes the towering force of nature we admire. You see, the roots go deep long before the branches rise. And that's you. That's your dream. You're building roots right now, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Even when the world doesn't applaud. Even when it seems like others are passing you by. Don't get discouraged because someone else is growing faster. Some trees grow fast and fall early. But the oak, it stands through generations. Patience allows you to embrace the journey instead of just chasing the outcome. It teaches you to find value in the small, quiet victories. The morning you get up and try again, the late night when you fight through doubt, the day you choose faith over fear. Those moments matter. They are laying the foundation for everything that's coming. Too many people quit too soon because they mistake silence for absence. But growth often happens in silence. And greatness rarely announces itself early. It's easy to get frustrated when things aren't moving at the pace you hoped for. It's easy to doubt yourself when you don't see immediate progress. But that's when you must hold on. That's when you must choose to be patient. Because patience is not just about waiting. It's about what you do while you wait. Do you complain or do you prepare? Do you sulk Or do you sharpen? Patience is where your character is built. It's where your trust in the process is forged. It's where the fire inside you is refined. Think about the greats, people like Nelson Mandela, who waited in prison for 27 years with faith that freedom and justice would one day come. He didn't wait with bitterness. He waited with purpose. Every day, he nurtured the vision in his heart, even when it seemed impossible. That's the power of patience. It's not about resigning yourself to the situation. It's about rising with resilience in the waiting. You may be in a season where you feel overlooked, underestimated, or forgotten. But let me tell you something, that season is sacred. Don't curse the delay. The delay is developing you. It's preparing you for what's coming. It's building strength in you that shortcuts could never give. It's building a patience that's rooted not in the absence of challenge, but in the presence of faith. Patience teaches you to trust in something greater than your current moment. It allows you to hold on to hope when others give up. It gives you the strength to keep walking when the finish line is nowhere in sight. Because you know the finish line is there, even if you can't see it yet. You keep going, not because it's easy, but because you're committed, because you believe that the time it takes will be worth it. And I promise you, it will be worth it. So in a world that races, I challenge you to stand still in strength. In a world that rushes to results, I dare you to trust the process. Be patient, not because it's easy, but because it's powerful. Because in patience, you become unshakable. You become grounded. You become the oak. And when your time comes, and it will come, the world will not just see the fruit of your labor. They'll feel the strength of your roots. Persistence, the bridge between failure and success when life knocks you down, not once, not twice, but again and again. What do you do? That answer will define everything. You see, most people give up. Most people retreat. Most people fold under pressure. But the few who rise, the few who push through the darkness, the few who keep walking when their legs are tired, their hearts are broken, and their minds are filled with doubt, those people, my friend, are the ones who win, not because they had fewer failures. No, but because they were persistent. Persistence is the invisible fire in your soul that refuses to be extinguished. It's what keeps you going after everyone else has stopped. It's what drives you forward when failure feels final, when the doors are closed, when the world says you're not enough. Let me tell you something right now. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path to success. And persistence is the bridge that carries you across that path. Think about Thomas Edison. He didn't stumble into greatness with ease. He failed over and over. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Most people would have stopped at 10 or 100, maybe even 1,000. But 10,000, that takes an unbreakable belief. That takes a vision stronger than disappointment. That takes persistence. And because of that persistence, the world got the light bulb. Let me tell you a story. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was once cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine that. A legend in the making, rejected. What if he had accepted that as truth? What if he had said, "They're right, I'm not good enough"? We would have never seen his greatness. But he didn't accept it. He used it. He let that rejection fuel his drive. He practiced harder. He believed deeper. And he became a champion, not just because of talent, but because of persistence. The world will try to measure your worth by your results. But don't let that fool you. What truly matters is your resilience, your ability to show up again and again, even when the results aren't there yet, even when the world tells you to quit, even when your own mind whispers doubt. Persistence is a quiet power, the kind that builds empires in silence and prepares warriors in the shadows. It's the sweat you pour in when no one is clapping. It's the choice to keep going when your heart is heavy and the finish line is nowhere in sight. Every no you receive is not a dead end. It's a detour. It's a redirection, not a rejection. When you're persistent, you learn to reinterpret failure. You start to see it not as something that defines you, but as something that refines you. You learn to welcome challenges as teachers. you grow stronger with every fall. And you rise, not in spite of it, but because of it. You're going to have moments when nothing seems to work, when you pour everything you've got into a dream, and all you get back is silence. When your heart breaks because the effort doesn't match the outcome. And it's in those moments that most people walk away. But not you. Not if you're serious. Not if you know what's inside of you. Because persistence says, I will try again. It says, I may be knocked down, but I'm not knocked out. It says, I came too far to only come this far. Look at any success story. Oprah Winfrey, who was told she was unfit for television. Walt Disney, who was fired for lacking imagination. J.K. Rowling, who was rejected by dozens of publishers before someone finally said yes. These people weren't born with certainty. They weren't handed approval. They were told no, time and time again. But they were persistent. And that persistence carved out space for their dreams in a world that didn't believe in them at first. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're not too far gone. What you need isn't more talent. It's more tenacity. What you need isn't a clearer path. It's a stronger will. The journey will test you. It will challenge you. It will ask, how bad do you really want it? And your answer must be shown in your actions, in your consistency, in your persistence. The bridge between failure and success isn't built in a day. It's built brick by brick. Through each setback, each rejection, each time you refuse to give up. And if you keep walking, if you keep showing up, no matter how heavy the burden, one day you'll look back and realize that everything you went through, everything you endured, everything you pushed through was building you into someone unstoppable. So when life tries to silence you, speak louder with your effort. When failure knocks, open the door with faith. And when the world doubts you, let your persistence write a story so powerful, they'll have no choice but to believe. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to the most talented, it belongs to the most persistent. Positivity, the light that guides through darkness. There will be days when the world feels heavy, when the walls are closing in, the phone isn't ringing, the money isn't coming. The people you trusted walk away, and everything you once believed in starts to feel like a distant dream. Life can break your heart in ways no one prepares you for. And in those moments, it's not strength or strategy that keeps you alive. It's something deeper. It's the quiet decision to believe in the light even when you can't see it. That's positivity. Not the surface kind, not fake smiles and hollow words. No, real positivity. The kind that digs its heels in and says, even now, I will find a reason to hope. Positivity is not about ignoring reality. It's not pretending that pain doesn't exist or that everything is perfect when it's not. That's delusion. Positivity is much braver than that. It means staring directly at the struggle, acknowledging the fear, the uncertainty, the broken pieces, and still choosing to believe that something good can come out of it. It's not blindness, it's boldness. It's saying, yes, this hurts. Yes, this is hard. But no, this will not define me. When life knocks you down, and it will, positivity is the whisper inside that says, get up again. It's the internal flame that refuses to go out, no matter how strong the winds get. It's the belief that even if everything is falling apart right now, it's not the end of the story. There's still a chapter being written, and you're still holding the pen. That's not naivety. That's powerful. I've seen people face incredible darkness. The loss of a loved one, financial ruin, betrayal, illness, and still rise with love in their hearts. Not because life got easier, but because they chose a lens that saw possibilities instead of permanent defeat. They chose to find the lesson in the loss. They chose to see pain as a teacher instead of a prison. And that mindset changed everything. Because here's the truth, your mindset is the filter through which you experience your life. The same event can either break you or build you. Not because of the event itself, but because of what you tell yourself about it. Your thoughts are the soil. And if you're planting seeds of bitterness, fear, and doubt, then don't be surprised when that's what grows. But if you choose to plant seeds of hope, gratitude, and belief, then you create a different harvest entirely. It doesn't mean everything will suddenly be easy. It just means you'll be able to handle the hard stuff with grace and grit. You look at the mountain, and instead of saying, "I can't climb this," you'll say, "One step at a time, I will." You'll stop seeing setbacks as signs to quit and start seeing them as detours that might just be leading you somewhere better. Let's talk about the science of it for a second. Studies have shown that people who maintain a positive mindset have stronger immune systems, better relationships, and more resilience in times of stress. Why? Because positivity doesn't just make you feel better, it makes you stronger. It equips your mind and body to fight longer, endure harder, and recover faster. It's not just emotional, it's transformational. Think about Nelson Mandela. Locked away in a cell for 27 years, stripped of freedom, isolated from the world, and yet he walked out of that prison with forgiveness in his heart and a vision for peace. That's not weakness. That's unshakable positivity. That's choosing light over bitterness. That's leading with love even when hate had every opportunity to take over. When the night feels darkest, when no one understands your pain, when even you begin to question your worth, that's when positivity matters the most. Not because it makes the pain go away, but because it gives you the courage to walk through it with dignity. Because it keeps your heart open when the world gives you reasons to close it. Because it dares to imagine a better tomorrow even when today is a mess. And remember this, you don't have to feel positive all the time to live a positive life. Some days you'll cry, some days you'll scream, some days you'll fall apart. That's okay. Let it happen. But always come back to that inner flame. Always come back to that voice that says, this is not the end. Because that voice, however small it feels, is your guide. It is your light. It is your power. Your attitude shapes your altitude. That's not just a clever phrase. That's a truth you can build a life on. The higher you want to go, the stronger your mindset has to be. So when life gets hard, and it will, choose positivity, not because it's easy, but because it will lead you through the darkness and into your destiny. Belief, your inner compass. There's a force inside of you that is stronger than any challenge, deeper than any fear, and more powerful than any setback. And that force is belief, not just surface level optimism, not just repeating, real belief. The kind that settles deep in your bones and whispers, this is possible. You are enough. Keep going. Belief is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not a thing you reach for when everything is going right. It's the anchor you hold onto when everything is falling apart. It's the compass that points you forward when your path is unclear and your strength is running low. Because without belief, even the greatest opportunities pass you by. Without belief, every no sounds like a final sentence instead of a stepping stone. Without belief, the moment life gets hard, you crumble. But belief, real belief, it makes you unshakable. There's a reason every great achievement began in the unseen. Before it was a book, it was an idea. Before it was a company, it was a dream. Before it was a championship, it was a vision. What turned those invisible dreams into reality? Belief. The person had to believe in something that nobody else could see. And that belief became their blueprint, their drive, their fire. Think about the Wright brothers. They were mocked, laughed at. People said it was impossible to build a machine that could fly. But the Wright brothers didn't rely on the world's approval. They relied on their belief. And that belief carried them through failure after failure, crash after crash, until one day they got it off the ground. And the world would never be the same. Belief isn't about living in denial or pretending obstacles don't exist. It's about knowing they exist and still choosing to rise. It's standing face to face with reality and saying, yes, this is hard. Yes, I've fallen, but I still believe in what I'm called to do. When doubt creeps in, and it will, that's when belief must speak louder. Doubt is sneaky. It doesn't show up shouting, it whispers. It creeps in when you're tired, when you're vulnerable, when you're overwhelmed. It tells you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. And the danger is that over time you start believing those lies. But belief is your truth teller. Belief reminds you of your why. What is your why? What is the reason you started? The reason you got up early. The reason you kept going when it didn't make sense. That why, that fire inside, that's what fuels your belief. It's what reminds you that your dream is not random. It's placed inside of you for a reason. God didn't give you that vision by accident. He entrusted you with it. So protect your belief. Feed it every single day. Speak life into yourself. Affirm who you are and who you are becoming. Say it out loud. I am enough. I am capable. I am chosen. I am growing. I am worthy of this dream. And when your mind tries to tell you otherwise, say it louder. Pray. Lean on your faith. Get rooted in something bigger than you. Because there will be days when your strength won't be enough. And that's okay. That's where grace steps in. That's where divine belief steps in. That's where you stop trying to do it all in your own power and you start trusting the process you were born for. And don't do this alone. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. Not just when you're winning, but when you're wounded. The right circle doesn't just celebrate you at the top. They hold you up when you're barely standing. Let those voices be louder than the critics. Let them remind you of who you are when you forget. Because the truth is, we all forget. We all get tired. We all question the journey. That's not weakness. That's being human. But belief pulls you back. It centers you. It reminds you that the path you're walking isn't about perfection. It's about perseverance. It's about trusting that your steps, however shaky, are still leading somewhere meaningful. That every detour has a purpose. That every delay still holds a destiny. And hear me on this. When you believe in yourself, truly believe, the world begins to shift. Not because circumstances change overnight, but because you change. You walk differently. You speak differently. You show up with conviction. You stop waiting for validation, and you start moving in your purpose. And that energy, that alignment, attracts new doors, new people, new chances. Belief doesn't guarantee an easy road, but it gives you the courage to keep walking it. It gives you the heart to rise when you fall. It gives you the strength to try again and again and again. So guard that belief. Fan that flame. Because your belief is not just for you. It's the beginning of every life you'll impact, every heart you'll inspire, and every legacy you'll leave behind. Courage. Walking through the fire, there will come a moment in your life. Maybe it's today, maybe it's been creeping in for weeks, when you will have to walk through the fire. And by fire, I don't mean literal flames. I mean the pain of uncertainty, the sting of rejection, the heat of failure, and the burn of self-doubt. That fire, the kind that tests you to your core. And when that moment comes, you'll be tempted to run, to hide, to shrink. But that's when something far greater needs to rise up inside you. That something is courage. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It doesn't mean you're not shaking on the inside. It doesn't mean the tears don't fall. Courage means you keep moving anyway. It means you choose to get out of bed when everything in you wants to stay under the covers. It means you take that next step, even if it's slow, even if it's unsure, even if it's silent. Courage is not loud. Sometimes it's a whisper that says, I will not quit today. When you've been patient, when you've been persistent, and it still hasn't come together, that's when the fire gets hotter. That's when you start asking questions. Is this even worth it? Do I really have what it takes? That's when the world starts throwing its doubts at you, one after another. But courage is the shield. It's the force that says, let them doubt. I'm not doing this for applause. I'm doing this because I believe in what's on the other side. Look at Samuel, a man with a gift. A heart full of love, but he was met with rejection after rejection. People couldn't see his worth, couldn't understand his calling. He faced the crushing weight of being alone in a world that moves on without you. But instead of giving up, instead of surrendering to the silence, Samuel made a choice. He got up one more time. That's courage. You might not be standing on a battlefield with armor and weapons, but you are in a fight. A fight for your life, for your dream, for your peace of mind. And every day that you decide not to let fear dictate your future, you win a piece of that fight. Courage doesn't guarantee immediate results, but it guarantees growth. It shapes your spirit. It builds your backbone. And let me tell you something you might need to hear today. You have been through enough to break a lesser person. You have endured enough to be bitter, angry, and cold. But you're still here, still breathing, still pushing. That's courage. Don't ever minimize that. Don't ever underestimate what it takes to keep showing up when everything around you says, stay down. There will be voices that say, play it safe. Don't risk it. Don't step out. But courage says, I was not born to live in the shadows. You weren't created to just exist. You were born to live, to lead, to love, and to leave a mark. And you can't do that by playing small. You can't do that by avoiding the fire. You walk through it. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it burns. But when you come out on the other side, and you'll be stronger, you'll be refined, you'll be ready. People think courage is for the bold and the loud. But courage is just as present in the quiet. It's the mother raising her children alone, exhausted, but present. It's the man battling depression who still chooses to smile at the stranger in the store. It's the student who fails a test and signs up to take it again. Courage isn't found in grand moments. It's forged in daily decisions. And here's the thing, courage turns pain into power. It doesn't erase the scars. It transforms them into testimony. It says, this happened and I survived it. Not only did I survive it, I used it. I learned. I grew. I became someone I didn't even know I could be. The fire didn't consume you. It changed you. And the person you are becoming, that version of you, that's the one who's going to change lives. So the next time fear whispers, you can't, you tell it, watch me. The next time you feel overwhelmed by the size of the challenge, remember that courage isn't about doing it all at once. It's about taking the next brave step, just one, and then the next, and then the next. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to keep walking through the fire, because on the other side of that fire is the version of you that's been waiting to be born. And that version is unstoppable. Mindset. The battlefield of success, if you ever want to know where the real war is being fought, it's not in the boardroom, not in your bank account, not even in your circumstances. The real war is in your mind. That's the battlefield of success. That's where dreams are either given life or left to die in silence. Your thoughts, the ones you repeat, believe, and act on, are the architects of your future. You don't rise because the world gives you permission. You rise because you decided in your mind that you will not be defeated. The mind of a champion is not an accident. It's not just positive thinking. No, it's a daily fight. It's a discipline. It's training. You think a warrior walks onto a battlefield without first being prepared. No. They rehearse, they strengthen, they go through fire long before the battle ever begins. That's what you have to do with your thoughts. Train them, shape them, sharpen them. Because when the storms of life hit, your mindset is either going to become your shelter or your shipwreck. Now let's get real. Your mind will be attacked. It's going to be hit by fear, by doubt, by comparisons, by every what if you can imagine. What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? What if they don't believe in me? And if you let those voices sit at the head of your mental table, they'll steal your potential without lifting a finger. That's why you can't just listen to yourself. You have to talk back to yourself. Talk back with truth. Talk back with purpose. Talk back with fire. When that voice says, I can't, you answer with, I will. When it says, you failed too much, you reply, every failure taught me something that made me stronger. When it whispers, they're ahead of you. You stand up and declare, this is not their race. This is my race, and I will run it in my time. That's how you take your mind back. That's how you fight on the battlefield of success. With relentless, focused, disciplined belief. The truth is, people who win, they don't always have the most talent, the best resources, or the perfect start. but they do have a fortified mindset. A mindset that won't crack under pressure. A mindset that sees problems and still searches for possibility. A mindset that doesn't back down when life gets messy. That's what separates those who succeed from those who settle. It's not luck, it's not connections. It's the mindset that refuses to be broken. You have to understand, success is not just about external action, it's internal alignment. It's aligning your thoughts with your goals. Because if your mind believes it's impossible, your body won't even try. But if your mind believes it's possible, you'll get up earlier, you'll stay up later, you'll keep pushing through the pain, because deep inside, you know something beautiful is coming. That's the power of mindset. Think about the people who inspired you growing up. Maybe it was someone in your family, a teacher, a historical figure, or even a voice on the radio. They weren't perfect. What made them unforgettable was how they thought. They saw opportunity where others saw obstacles. They held on to belief in moments of uncertainty. They chose to keep their minds strong even when their hearts were breaking. That's not just inspiration, that's instruction. That's the blueprint for how you rise. So if you're tired of the failures, tired of the setbacks, tired of waiting, go to war for your mind. Begin the process of mental transformation. Start catching those toxic thoughts. Interrupt them. Don't just let them flow freely. Challenge them. Replace them. Say to yourself daily, I am strong. I am capable. I am becoming. Because repetition rewires your reality. What you say to yourself consistently becomes what you believe. And what you believe becomes how you behave. The mindset of a patient, persistent, and positive person is a fortress. It doesn't mean they never have weak moments. It means they've learned how to bounce back faster. They've built a mental muscle that doesn't panic in the storm, but anchors down and stays focused. That's what you've got to do. Not just hope for better days, but prepare for them. And preparation starts with your mindset. It all begins in the space between your ears. You can have all the passion in the world, but if your thoughts are filled with fear, it'll hold you hostage. You can be surrounded by opportunity, but if you don't believe you're worthy, you'll never reach for it. So every day, not once in a while, but every single day, work your mind like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. The battlefield is real, but so is your power. And once you master your mind, you change your life from the inside out. Growth. Embracing the process. There's something sacred about the process of growth. It's not flashy. It doesn't come with applause. There are no red carpets rolled out when you're down on your knees trying to rebuild your confidence after a failure. No one hands you a trophy when you face your fears in silence or keep going when no one is cheering you on. But it is in these quiet, difficult moments, these in between chapters of your life, where the real transformation happens. Growth doesn't arrive like a lightning bolt. It creeps in slowly, silently. It shows up in the tears you wipe away when no one's looking. It speaks through the voice that whispers, "Try again," when everything in you wants to give up. Growth is uncomfortable because it forces you to let go of who you were in order to become who you're meant to be. It shakes your foundation. It pokes at your pride. It stretches you beyond what you thought possible. And yes, sometimes it hurts, but the pain isn't there to punish you. It's there to push you. You see, there's a common myth out there that success should be smooth, that you should always feel confident and ready, that if things are hard, it means you're doing something wrong. But that's not truth. The truth is growth is supposed to be hard, because it's not just about learning new things. It's about unlearning the habits, thoughts, and fears that have held you back for years. That kind of internal renovation takes time and it takes fire. Think about a seed buried in the darkness of the soil, isolated, unseen. Nobody claps for the seed. Nobody praises its effort. But underneath, something incredible is happening. The seed is cracking open. Roots are pushing through dirt. It's painful. It's dirty, but it's necessary, because the seed cannot stay a seed and also become a tree. And neither can you stay comfortable and also become who you were born to be. Growth demands that you let go of your comfort zone, and that's terrifying. It means facing parts of yourself you've tried to avoid. It means admitting that you're not there yet, that you still have healing to do, skills to build, courage to grow. But hear me, that's not weakness. That's strength. That's honesty. That's the starting line of every powerful transformation. The people who grow the most are not the ones who pretend they have it all together. They're the ones who are willing to be broken and still believe in their breakthrough. And here's what's beautiful: every failure is growth in disguise. Every time life doesn't go as planned, every no, every door slammed in your face, that's not the end. That's a new layer of strength being added to your spirit. That's life sharpening you, shaping you, preparing you for the greatness you can't yet see. You may not feel it in the moment, but one day you'll look back and realize it wasn't falling apart, it was falling into place. You are not here just to exist. You are here to evolve. And evolution doesn't happen by accident. It happens by choice. It happens when you wake up and decide, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to grow through this. It happens when you stop waiting for life to get easier and start choosing to get stronger. Every challenge you face is an invitation to grow. Every difficulty is asking you one question: will you let this define you or refine you? And let's be clear, growth is not always linear. There will be days you feel like you've made progress and days you feel like you've slipped backward. That's normal. Growth is messy, it's confusing, but it's worth it. Because with every lesson, every new level of understanding, you are becoming more of who you were always meant to be. You're becoming wiser, braver, more patient, more grounded. That's not just success, that's transformation. You've got to stop measuring your growth by other people's timelines. Some people will bloom early, others will take time. But blooming late does not make your flower less beautiful. It doesn't make your story less meaningful. The only thing that matters is, are you willing to keep growing? Even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because trust me, something is always happening beneath the surface. So keep showing up for yourself. Keep learning, keep trying, keep stretching. When life gets tough, don't shrink, expand, rise. Use the pressure to become stronger, wiser, more resilient, because that's what growth does. It turns scars into strength, trials into triumph, and ordinary people into extraordinary examples of what's possible. You're not just going through life, you're growing through it. And that, my friend, is the greatest journey of all. Action, the language of dreams. Dreams are powerful. They stir your soul, ignite your imagination, and paint pictures of a future that pulls you forward. But dreams alone are silent. They speak no language that the world can hear. They remain locked inside you, beautiful yet lifeless, until action gives them voice. Action is the language of dreams. It's the message you send out to the universe declaring, I am here. I am serious. I am moving forward. Without action, dreams are just wishes floating in the clouds with no roots in the soil of reality. Now, listen carefully. Patience and persistence are the foundation, but action is the engine. You can wait patiently, and you can persist tirelessly. But if you never take that first step, you will never cross the bridge from dreaming to becoming. Action is what separates the dreamer from the doer. It is the bridge that carries you over the canyon of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. And the incredible truth is this: even the smallest step counts. When you take action, you break inertia. You disrupt the familiar patterns that keep you stuck. Even when you're unsure, even when the path isn't clear, you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to decide, I will move. I will try. Because movement begets momentum. Momentum ignites energy, and energy creates possibility. Think about the stories of great men and women you admire, the legends, the leaders, the change makers. Their success didn't come from waiting for perfect conditions. It came from starting, from acting when others hesitated, from showing up again and again despite obstacles. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, but he didn't stop shooting hoops. Oprah Winfrey faced rejection and setbacks, but kept saying yes to opportunity. Every step they took, even the missteps, moved them closer to their destiny. Action is faith in motion. It's belief taking shape in the physical world. When you act, you are telling your mind, your heart, and the universe that you trust the process. You are telling yourself, I am worthy of my dreams. I am committed to making them real. And that commitment lights a fire within you that no obstacle can easily extinguish. You may wonder, what if I fail? What if I make the wrong move? Those questions can freeze us, make us hesitate, and keep us locked in fear. But here's the secret. Failure is not the opposite of action. It's a part of it. Every misstep is a lesson. Every setback is a signal pointing you to adjust your course. The only true failure is inaction, doing nothing while your dreams wither away. Action also teaches you clarity. When you move, you learn what works and what doesn't. You gain experience that no amount of planning or wishing can give you. The fog lifts one step at a time, and suddenly you find yourself on a clearer path, guided by the wisdom that only doing can bring. Now, let me tell you this, the universe has a way of rewarding movement. It doesn't reward hesitation, doubts, or endless waiting. It rewards those who dare to act, those who dare to believe their dreams are worth fighting for. That's why it's not enough to just dream or wait patiently. You must do. You must show up. You must take that step, and then the next one, and the next. Action is also contagious. When you take action, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage creates a ripple effect. Your commitment becomes a beacon that draws support, opportunity, and connection. The more you move, the more the universe conspires to help you succeed. Doors open, new paths appear, and what once seemed impossible begins to feel inevitable. Remember, the language of dreams is spoken not in silence, but in movement. It's heard in the footsteps of those who refuse to give up. It's written in the sweat of late nights, the courage of early mornings, and the grit of everyday persistence. If you want your dreams to live, you must speak their language, action. So today, decide to speak boldly. Take the small step that feels uncomfortable, but necessary. Do the thing you've been avoiding because of fear or doubt. Start where you are, with what you have, and keep going. The dream inside you is waiting for your voice. It's waiting for your action. And when you finally speak in the language of dreams, you'll find that the world listens, and the impossible starts to become possible. Resilience, bouncing back stronger life, has a way of testing us, pushing us, challenging us, sometimes knocking us flat on our backs when we least expect it. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or how prepared you think you are. Pain and hardship come to all of us. But here's the real question that defines everything. How many times will you rise? How many times will you refuse to stay down? Because that, my friend, is resilience. The unbreakable spirit inside you that refuses to be defeated, that says, I'm not done yet. Resilience is not just about surviving the storm. It's about learning to dance in the rain. It's the muscle that grows stronger every time you choose to stand back up. The people who inspire you, those legends, those heroes who seem untouchable, they aren't invincible. What makes them extraordinary is their resilience. They fall, they fail, they get hurt, but they rise. They rise with more wisdom, with more fire, with a deeper understanding that pain is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. Look closely at every setback you've experienced, every disappointment, every moment you felt like giving up, every no that cut deep. Those aren't just failures. They are setups for comebacks. Each time you bounce back, you build strength. Like a blacksmith forging steel, life's trials heat you up, hammer you down, but with every strike, you become tougher, more resilient. The cracks and scars you carry are proof of your survival, proof that you are still here, still fighting. Resilience means refusing to let your pain define you. It means looking your hurt in the eye and saying, you will not own me. It means that no matter how deep the wound, no matter how dark the night, you believe there is a dawn waiting for you. And it's not just about hope, it's about action. It's about standing, moving, and pushing forward even when your body aches and your mind screams to quit. think about the greatest stories of human resilience. Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years in prison, but came out to lead a nation. Oprah Winfrey, who overcame poverty and abuse to become a global icon. J.K. Rowling, rejected by countless publishers before Harry Potter became a worldwide phenomenon. What's the common thread? They faced their darkest moments, and instead of letting those moments define their destiny, they used them as fuel to rise higher. Your story is unfinished. The chapters yet to come are waiting to be written by your resilience. Every setback, every stumble, every moment of doubt is a chance to grow stronger, to learn something new about yourself. Resilience teaches you that failure is not final, it's feedback. It's the universe's way of redirecting you towards something better, something greater. To build resilience, you must embrace your struggles as part of your journey. When you get knocked down, don't waste energy blaming or despairing. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this pain to fuel my growth? Resilience is born from reflection, from choosing to find meaning in hardship rather than being crushed by it. It's also about perspective. Resilience helps you see setbacks not as dead ends, but as detours, new paths leading to unexpected opportunities. It's the difference between giving up and giving it one more try. When you cultivate resilience, you develop a mindset that says, I can handle this. I will get through this. I will come out stronger. And here's the beautiful truth: resilience is contagious. When you show up after falling, when you refuse to quit, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a beacon for those struggling in their own battles. You become proof that pain doesn't have the final say. Building resilience isn't always easy. Sometimes it means facing your fears head on, asking for help when you need it, and forgiving yourself for mistakes. It's about nurturing your mind, body, and spirit with care and kindness. It's about holding on to faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith that the storm will pass. So when life knocks you down, and it will, remember that every time you rise, you rewrite your story. You move from victim to victor, from broken to bold. Your resilience is the force that will carry you through the darkest nights and into the brightest mornings. It's the fire that will never be extinguished, the voice inside that whispers, keep going. You've got this. No matter what you face, resilience is your greatest weapon. It's the promise that you are more powerful than your pain, stronger than your struggles, and capable of bouncing back again and again until you reach the life you were meant to live. Your comeback is waiting. The choice is yours. Will you rise? Gratitude, the heartbeat of peace. In the midlife storms, when the winds howl and the waves crash around you, it can feel impossible to find calm. Yet, even in those darkest, most painful moments, there is a heartbeat, a pulse that keeps you grounded and steady. That heartbeat is gratitude. Gratitude is the quiet, powerful force that sustains you when everything else seems to be falling apart. It is not about ignoring your pain or pretending that life is perfect. No, gratitude is something far deeper and more real. It's the sacred art of recognizing the hidden gifts within your struggles, the light that shines through the cracks of your brokenness. When you learn to embrace gratitude, you shift your entire perspective. You begin to see that even in the hardest seasons, life is still giving you something to hold on to. It might be a kind word from a stranger, the warmth of the sun on your face, the breath that fills your lungs, or the love of someone who refuses to give up on you. These are not small things. They are the building blocks of peace, the gentle reminders that you are not alone and that your journey, no matter how difficult, has meaning. Gratitude is like the roots of a great tree, deep and unseen, yet vital. It anchors you, keeps you steady as the storms rage around you. When you are grateful, you develop a foundation that no hardship can shake. It's that foundation that allows you to wait patiently, persist tirelessly, and stay positive even when the world tells you to give up, because gratitude fills your heart with a quiet strength, a knowing that your current struggle is just a chapter, not the whole story. In fact, gratitude changes the way your spirit breathes. When you focus on what you do have, instead of what you lack, your soul opens up. It becomes easier to see the lessons hidden in your trials, the growth that pain is pushing you toward. You start to understand that every challenge is a gift wrapped in difficulty, an invitation to rise above and become more than you thought possible. You may wonder, how can I feel grateful when life is unfair, when I'm hurting, when everything seems to be against me? That question is real, and the answer is even more real. Gratitude is not about denying your pain. It's about holding your pain in one hand and your blessings in the other. It's about acknowledging the struggle without letting it blind you to the good that still exists. It's about making a conscious choice every day to look for the light, even if it flickers faintly. When you practice gratitude, you become a magnet for more blessings. The universe responds to your heart's frequency. The more you focus on what you are thankful for, the more reasons you find to keep giving thanks. Gratitude opens the door for miracles. Small ones that grow into big ones, hope that blossoms into joy, and faith that becomes unshakable. Think about people who have faced unimaginable hardships, yet still found a way to be grateful. Their gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a force that propels them forward. It fuels their spirit, refreshes their hope, and deepens their resilience. It reminds them that no matter how tough the journey, they have something precious inside, that no circumstance can steal the power to be thankful. Gratitude also softens your heart toward others. When you appreciate your own blessings, you become more compassionate, more willing to lift up those who are struggling alongside you. This creates a cycle of positivity that extends beyond yourself, touching families, communities, even strangers you've never met. Gratitude is contagious, spreading peace like ripples on a pond. But gratitude is not just a feeling to be wished for, it's a practice to be cultivated. It requires intention. It asks you to pause, to breathe, and to look deeply at your life with new eyes. It invites you to write down what you're thankful for, to speak it aloud, to make it a daily ritual. The more you nurture gratitude, the stronger it grows, like a muscle that gets more powerful with every use. When you're waiting for your breakthrough, when you're persisting through setbacks, when you're holding on to positivity and belief, gratitude is the heartbeat that keeps you alive. It is the steady rhythm in the chaos, the calm in the storm, the peace in the waiting. It reminds you that no matter how long the journey takes, no matter how many times you stumble, your heart can always find something to be thankful for. So today, wherever you are, whatever you're facing, I challenge you to find that heartbeat, that pulse of gratitude, and let it fill your soul. Let it be the anchor that holds you steady, the light that guides you forward, and the power that fuels your spirit. Because gratitude is not just a feeling, it's the very essence of peace. And when you carry peace inside you, there is nothing in this world that can stop your rise. My friends, I want you to hear me clearly. Your journey, with all its struggles, delays, and setbacks, is the very thing that will shape your greatness. Be patient. Be persistent. Be positive. Like Samuel, that star shining through the darkest night is waiting for you to lift your eyes and keep going. You were not put on this earth to settle. You were born to shine, to overcome, to rise above every circumstance. Your story is still unfolding. Your victory is on the horizon. So I challenge you today, take this message into your heart. When the world tells you no, whisper back your own yes. Keep planting the seeds. Keep watering your dreams. Keep believing when it feels impossible. Keep stepping forward with courage and gratitude. Your moment is coming. And when it arrives, the world will see the power of a patient, persistent, positive soul who refused to quit. Now go out there, live that truth, and let your light set this world on fire.